Hello everyone, it's Anna here. I have several cards to share with you today. These are all made using this beautiful floral stamp, and this is actually a stamp from in a collaboration really with scrapbook.com and Photoplay, and I will have links to everything I use down below. There are several sentiments that come with this stamp image, but I'm not using any of the sentiments for these cards, but they are really nice to have because they can be used on any kind of card. So I'm using watercolor paper and VersaMark ink, which is a sticky clear ink, and then I'm using Ranger Superfine white embossing powder. I have about, I think, 2 or 3 jars worth of embossing powder in this container of mine, and I like using the container because, well, it helps me, well, limit the messiness of the stamping and the embossing process. And now I'm just heat embossing the powder, and since this is white on white, you can't really see this clearly, but in real life it is quite visible because it starts to shine up a bit. So I actually made 3 backgrounds, and I'm planning on using these shakers, magical shakers by Lindy's Stamp Gang. One is yellow toned, black, and then bluish. Now this is just a small cutting board that I bought from IKEA, and I used that along with tape, and this is purple tape, to keep my cardstock from warping too much. So I'm using a lot of water, and by doing this it limits the warpiness, I guess. Now I added a bit of water to the cardstock, and now I'm just using the blue can or box or bottle and just spritzing those colors anywhere, and then adding plenty more water. And I just love seeing these colors come through. I just love this. I love color, and when color decides to be unpredictable, it is so much fun to see. And even though the color seems to be taking over everything, the image will still show because the white embossing powder will resist the color eventually. And here I'm just using a tiny paintbrush just to make sure that the colors are blending a wee bit better. You can of course add more water or less, or just let it air dry and not fiddle anything, but I was having so much fun. I just wanted to, well, make sure everything was colourful and different kind of colours, and even though I am in no control whatsoever, it feels nice to think you are, really. And just with too many puddles, I decided to try and take those puddles away, a bit too much water. I'm just using the Ranger heat tool just to make the process go a wee bit faster. It's not necessary, but if you are impatient, it helps. And like I said, I'm just taking those, I don't know, wettest part off, I guess, before I just let it air dry and, well, get ready. And here I am using the yellow one, and this became much lighter than the bluish one, and actually it was not as, I don't know how to describe it. I thought there would be more color difference than it ended up being, but I like it, don't get me wrong. I just thought it would be a bit, I don't know, more burstiness, I guess, of some sort. And again, I'm just using that little paintbrush to mix here and there, and then I thought, why not use that Tim Holtz blower thingy tool. And that really helps with spreading the water and getting to those bits where you have much powder but not much water. I quite liked having that as a handy thing around. And what I like about this, you can have as much color as you want and as much white space as you want, really. It is very, I don't know, it takes over, really. You have no control. And that can be fun sometimes. And the same thing, I'll just let that air dry. And then I have the last color, and this is Black Forest, I believe it's called. And I absolutely adore these colors. I mean, you have the black dominant color, but then you have all these purples and yellows and bits of blues and hint of green here and there. I absolutely love this. This looks so fun. And again, just helping me spread the water here and there. Of course, you could always pick up the boards and just move the water around like that, but I had this little tool, so why not do something? And now this was a bit too light in my opinion, so I added a bit more color and tried to stay calm and not take too much away and just let it dry. And this looks like a real hot mess. Like there is no image there whatsoever, just purpley blackish blob. But it will look better. And I'm just taking those biggest ones out of the way, basically making the drying process go faster. And here we have all three backgrounds. Now I used a Spellbinder's die to cut a square, and those little circles are really nice decorative image or frame for it, because this is quite a simple card and I wanted to make sure the focus was on basically the powder and the stamp itself. So this dotted frame adds a bit of interest but without taking over the image really. And then it's time for the foam tape. I absolutely adore the scrapbook.com foam tape. Love it. This is the 1 inch width. You can of course use any width that you want. This is what I had next to me, handy, perfect. And then around the edge, I use the thin strips from the scrapbook.com foam tape because they match perfectly. So no cutting, fiddling, anything. It just fits perfectly and makes me ever so happy. And again, because this is a simple card, I really like adding dimension. It adds so much to a clean cut design really. And then it's the card base. And that is a £110 Nina Solar White cardstock. I really like that for the card base, very sturdy. And I'm just checking to see what kind of direction I want this card to go. Vertical, landscape, what? And now that I have actually figured that out, all I have to do is take the backing off and adding this to the front of my card. And there we go. That is done. Quick and easy. And of course I just had to add a little bit of bling. Absolutely love these pearls. These are by Studio Katja. And here is a bit too close with my glue, but that is all right. I can always wipe it off and find another position. And I'm just adding 3 at the bottom and then 3 at the top, just for a bit of added bling. But again, keeping in mind this is a simple, clean design, so that I'm not taking anything away from the whole image, really. And that is the card done. And that's all to it, really. And here you have the other one. This is the black one and the yellow one, and then I actually had quite fun doing this one. I used the blue one and pink, mixing those together, and I really do like that result. Now here is our close-ups for you to have a look, and of course I will have links to everything down below. And of course, if you like this video, I would really appreciate thumbs up. Until next time, bye!